Hey, Full House fans, do you remember watching Full House and seeing double? Like Jesse and Becky's twin boys, Nikki and Alex? Well, this week on Full House Rewind, it's Dylan Tuomy-Wilhoit. If you haven't seen this yet, he's all grown up and we talk about what it was like to be a little kid on Full House. We're back late this fall with a lot more new episodes, and we'd like to thank you for listening wherever you get your podcasts and watching the show on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel. Have a great day.
This is a Podco original.
Hi there. We know you love Full House Rewind. You want more? Yes, you do. Come on. So just go to Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast and just hit that follow button right there. Oh, look how easy that is. See? Thank you. What is your first memory of being there, or do you have any at all?
One of the callbacks I remember.
Tell me about your life after Full House.
I got into singing. That was really my version of being on stage.
Did you ever think about acting again? Welcome to episode 14 of Full House Rewind. I'm your host, Dave Coulier. And our guest today is one of our Full House child star actors. Now, I'm not sure if he played Nikki or Alex or both. That's right, Aunt Becky and Uncle Jesse's twin boys. Now he's a talented Foley artist on Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, and Masters of the Air, produced by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. No slouches. Here's a pic of Dylan when Full House was on the air. Aw, that's adorable. Please welcome Dylan Tuomy-Wilhoit. Look at that. The crowd loves you. The crowd is going absolutely wild. Hi, Dylan. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Gosh, yeah, that's what I hear. I want to get into all of that stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about episode 14, and you're going to help us a lot with that.
Awesome.
It was also known as Half a Love Story, this episode, and it was directed by Howard Storm. This show first aired on ABC on January 15th, 1988, a couple of years before you were born, I think. Mm-hmm. So give us that description of what this episode's about, Dylan.
Jesse uses baby Michelle to get a date with one of Danny's coworkers, and then a girlfriend of Jesse's tells the story of how she met Jesse with Michelle previously. So Jesse's date is postponed indefinitely.
Oh, man, if that just doesn't suck you right into this episode, man, I'm telling you. And we're going to describe what happens in this episode. If anything pops into your head during any of this description, just jump in. Episode 14 opens with Danny being live on the set of Channel 8 Action News. They go to commercial break, and Danny's friend and fellow TV reporter Robin Winslow arrives on the set. Danny invites Robin to stay with the family at the Tanner household while she's in town. Wah, wah.
Jesse arrives on the set after that with Michelle on his shoulders and sees Robin. He's instantly smitten, of course.
Yes.
She's beautiful. And then Jesse asks Robin on a date and leaves Michelle with Danny. Danny then holds Michelle during his sports broadcast.
And then we're back at the house, and Danny and Robin talk to DJ and Stephanie in the living room as Joey makes dinner in the kitchen. Never trust one of Joey's dinners, ever. Jesse's girlfriend, Jill, arrives. We cut back to the living room, and Jesse enters. He's surprised to see Robin sitting in the living room. They instantly reconnect, like hearts in his eyes. His heart, like a cartoon, is popping out of his chest. They instantly reconnect as Jill enters. Everyone sits at the kitchen table for dinner as Jesse finds himself sitting awkwardly between Jill and Robin. Stamos, again, surrounded by women.
He likes the attention.
Yes, he does.
Robin breaks up with her date with Jesse, or breaks her date up with Jesse, and says that she's dated Jesse's type of guy before. Robin then tells Jesse that she doesn't want to get hurt again.
Oh,
so
man.
He messes up everything.
Yes. Well, then it's the next morning, and DJ and Stephanie help Robin get ready for her meeting at work. Stephanie hurts her finger, and Jesse helps her feel better as Robin watches. Well, Danny is back to work at the TV station with Michelle as a guest on his show because, you want to bring a baby onto the show. Jesse arrives and coaches Robin with her audition.
And then we're back at the house celebrating Robin's successful day, getting the job at the TV station. Robin and Jesse go to the front porch, and she thanks Jesse for his help at the audition, tells him that she was wrong about him, and then they tell each other that they just want to be good friends. But they're obviously attracted to each other, and it's way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse ends the episode with his trademark catchphrase,
Have mercy. Oh, man. And that is episode 14, folks. My gosh, Dylan, the last time I saw you was at Fuller House, and I couldn't believe it. They brought you and your brother back to play Nikki and Alex, all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about a little more about that, but I want to go back to the early days of Full House. You were born in 1990. Our show had already been, I think we were in our 4th season by then when you guys came into Jesse and Becky's life as their sons. I want to ask you, what is your first memory of being there, or do you have any at all?
The one of the callbacks I remember.
Callback?
Yeah.
Really?
I remember being in a room.
How old were you?
I had to have been 2 years old.
Oh my gosh.
I
have no memories at 2. Jeez, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, I don't know how I remember it, but I was in a room full of other twins of every shape and size and color, basically.
Wow.
And I didn't really know what was going on. I remember
You're 2.
walking up onto the set, and Jesse was there, John was there, and I climbed up on his lap and kissed him on the cheek, apparently. I don't remember that part, but...
Well, you guys were such adorable little boys. I mean, I'm sure everybody melted when you walked on the set, and you guys... What I remember is, as, little as you guys were back then, you just had a ball. I mean, I just remember you guys laughing and playing, and your mom was there on the set. Has she ever told you stories of what happened back then?
Yeah.
Does she share stories with you?
She had shared stories.
Do you have some of them? What does she remember about the show that she kind of says, oh, when you guys were there?
Her favorite to bring up is messing up John's hair. That was one of our favorite things to do.
Oh, that's right.
He was so pristine about it that we would just immediately mess it up every time.
He was, you know what his nickname was?
What?
I gave him the nickname Mud because he had so much product in his hair. I said, why don't you just put mud in there? Because you got everything else in there. You could throw mud into John's hair back then, and you wouldn't even know it was in there because he had so much product.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
all the time.
I remember one time I said there was a scene where I was supposed to, where he and we were always smacking each other in the back of the head. And I remember, I think it was during run through, I said, I'm not smacking him. And they're like, why? I said, because my hand will get stuck. He's got so much product in there. There's no way I'm sticking my hand in there. You guys were the second set of twins on Full House after, of course, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Did you ever meet those guys? I mean, did you ever really spend much time? Yeah, did you spend much time with them? Or
no?
Yeah?
I think we said hey to each other on Facebook way after the fact at some point, and that was it. Yeah.
I have to ask you this too, because you guys were so little back then. So it was season. I think we were 4th season, and then we went 4 more seasons with you guys. So you guys were like 6, 7 years old by the time we. Is that right? Were you guys?
I think we were almost. Yeah, we may have been 5.
5.
Yeah.
Do you remember getting recognized from the show back then? Like
Yes.
people on the street and.
Yeah, even at school. I went to public school, and everybody
Did kids
knew who I was before I met them, and
really?
yeah,
Because all those kids were watching Full House.
yeah. I didn't really have to go make friends. People just come up to me and introduce themselves, which was pretty cool.
Hey,
Like,
are you Nikki
you're
or
cool
Alex?
And you're cool.
Were you Nikki or Alex, or was it interchangeable?
It was interchangeable.
It was.
There were times where I played both of us in a scene, especially if we were in separate scenes.
Right.
I think I was the one that was always got dressed into a different clothing and got into the other scene.
because that's usually why you cast twins, but it's usually to play one character. But now you guys come on and you're playing twin boys as both characters on camera at the same time, because kids can get fidgety and they can get just tired and, you know, they're antsy, and you can't always say, hey, we're shooting a TV show. Because kids are like, yeah, well, I want a gummy bear.
I want to cry for 3 hours.
Right. But you guys were never like that. You guys were always, from what I remember, you guys were just happy, and your mom was always very happy being there. And
we had a blast. I remember goofing
I'm happy to hear that.
Picking my nose. I get the reaction from the audience.
Yes.
That would push me further.
Yeah. Well, because, you know, a lot of people are watching you. Let's tell me about your life after Full House. So you go back to school and you're kind of a normal kid again, right?
For the most part,
yeah.
People, as I grew up, maybe more into middle school, I wasn't as recognizable as a kid from Full House. And
because you guys were towheads, you were blondes.
Oh yeah. Middle school, I shaved my hair off, and it was like spiky, and
rebellious.
Did a whole rebellious phase.
I'm gonna rebel against that Full House image. And you're a Southern California kid, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Burbank.
In Burbank.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you guys were so close.
Yep. Went to John Burroughs High School, and
so you were really close to Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah.
That was right down the street from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
At any point, did you ever think about acting again? Or
I did. My brother never did, but I did.
Yeah.
My mom didn't want to invest, driving me around Hollywood.
Right.
With my brother in the car.
Right.
So I just, I got into singing. That was really my version of being on stage and performing. I was in choir all through school. So,
So do you play music too? Do you play instruments? What do you play?
Yeah, piano and bass.
Oh, nice. Nice. So did you have bands and stuff in high school, or were you in like a high school band or anything?
Yeah, I played bass in a couple of bands. Yeah.
What were the name of those bands? Because bands always have wacky names. I was in a high school band. I had long hair in high school, and I was a singer, and I played harmonica, and our band was called Nighthawk.
So cool.
Ooh,
you guys are so cool.
It's not just a hawk. It's at night. Ooh, mysterious.
Two cool things at once. Extra cool.
Well, yeah. What was your band's name? Do you remember?
I really don't remember.
You don't remember. We're the no names, ladies and gentlemen.
There was one band we never had a name because everybody wanted a different name.
Oh.
And we just kind of like, hey, we
band
do things.
infighting. Tap into all the greats. Yeah, it happens, man. All the greats, they have that band infighting stuff. Hey, did you date my girl? Yeah, yeah. So really, you hadn't appeared on anything from the time you left Full House to the time we did Fuller House.
Nothing.
And you guys stepped right in.
Yep.
Was there anything like familiar to you being back on that set? How did it feel?
It felt exactly the same. I mean, the crew did such a good job. You walked in and everything was exactly the same. And in terms of feeling, it was a little trippy.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of it I didn't remember. So I felt like I was picking up a lot of subconscious data as I walked through the set.
Right.
The main parts were you guys, you and Bob and John were all just so cool and so personable and funny.
Did you hear that?
On set, they are a riot, even funnier than on camera. So
well, yeah, because we say things that aren't in the script.
So funny.
When we're behind the scenes. It was, for me, it was so nice because we got to go back home again. And I remember I was telling Lori Loughlin, who, has been a guest on the show. I was telling her, I said, when I first saw the set, I walked onto the stage and there was the living room. And I got really emotional. I didn't think I was going to, but all of a sudden I started crying. I just burst out with tears, and I just thought, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But it was just that sense of, I don't know, nostalgia and memories flooding back, and all the people who made the show work and all the people that we had lost over the years who'd been a part of our lives. So it was really special, wasn't it? It was.
It really was, yeah.
And it seemed to me like the process hadn't changed at all. It was
No.
almost cookie cutter of when we used to shoot the show at Lorimar and Warner Brothers. It was like, well, wait a second. And I was, directing some of the episodes, and it was just the same, except, it was okay. Instead of ABC, it's Netflix now. And, our note sessions were with the Netflix executives, and our
There are a
other
lot of
notes-
writers at Netflix too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you remember our crew had expanded. It was a little bigger crew than the Full House days. And I'm like, what's this person's position?
Same thing, more people. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing, more people, Do you ever watch yourself on Full House?
Yeah,
What do you think? Do you ever make yourself laugh?
I do. I'm kind of a little shit.
Yeah. Do you know if it's you on camera or your brother right away?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I think it's harder in pictures when I'm not moving, but seeing my mannerisms and stuff is pretty easy. Yeah.
Really? Okay, quick. Name something worse than sitting and waiting in a doctor's office. That's where I feel I'm always going to get sick. People coughing and hacking? No, thank you. That's why you should give ZocDoc a try. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors. Then you choose the right one for your needs, and you click, and you instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and so much more. You can even filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. You can also see their actual appointment openings. You choose a time that works for you, you click, and you instantly book a visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, between 24 and 72 hours of booking. You can even score some same-day appointments. I like answers fast, so if I ever need it, ZocDoc is what I'm going to use. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/fullhousefind and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/fullhouse. ZocDoc.com/fullhouse. And then pretty soon, you'll be looking at a healthier you. Yeah, because Mary Kate and Ashley, a lot of people will ask me, like, how do you tell them apart? And I'm like, I just can, and they don't even have to talk. It's just, to me, their faces are a little bit different. Their expressions are a little different. And I notice it in the eyes,
The eyes are the big one.
I will say this, when you guys walked on the set, I think you walked right by me at one point.
Really?
And I was like, all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, that's Blake and Dylan. Like, because I hadn't seen you since Full House. And you had this line where you kind of said, hey man, do you remember the line, hella something?
Hella cool or something.
You guys make some
We did
hella cool. Yeah.
The surfing, yeah.
You guys do some hella cool something.
I don't remember it either.
what it is. So let's talk about, I didn't know this about you. You're a Foley artist. Now, I have worked with Foley artists over the years. I'm fascinated by it. I've been in, sessions where I've done ADR, where I would, do the voiceover stuff. And the Foley people were there working, and they're like, Dave, you're done with your ADR. And I'm like, wait a second, I want to watch this, because I'd never seen it before. And they do it at Warner Brothers. I don't know if you've ever done it at Warner Brothers.
I haven't done it at Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. It's fantastic. Explain what they have, because it's so cool.
Yeah, it's...
So just explain what Foleying is.
So Foley is the art of putting sound back into any media, because as you know, 80% of the sound is going to be taken out. All your footsteps, everybody puts so much time into making the set as quiet as possible so that the dialogue sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're adding in all the sounds. So we've got gravel and dirt, we've got our snow and water, We have every prop you can think of. From
How do you do snow? Doesn't it melt? How do you do snow?
Well, snow. I say snow as a Foley artist.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah.
We use at least the snow that I do. We've got like a gravel composite on the bottom. Then we cover that with a boogie board. Cover that with a bunch of pine shavings. And then
pine
shaving is kind of like gerbil cage stuff.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, so it's nice and shushy. It's got a little bit of crunch to it.
Shushy. Okay. Yeah.
So I walk in that. One microphone is pointed onto that sound.
Right.
And you got kind of the deep crunch of the snow underneath with the boogie board and gravel underneath all that other stuff.
Why a boogie board? It just kind of reflects the sound back up or something?
The boogie board mutes the gravel. So you don't get that gravel sound. You just kind of get that muted crunch. It's like the presence of crunch.
So when you see a movie or a TV show and someone's walking through the snow, it's a boogie board with gravel and shush.
Yeah, and pine shavings on top. And then if it's really cold outside, I have a bag full of cornstarch that I squish that another microphone is pointed at while I'm walking. And that makes kind of the
I find that just fascinating that someone had to come up with all of those different ways to make nature sounds out of just stuff, like
household items almost.
Because like you have to do like bones cracking. Mm-hmm. You have to do like, is there a slap for human skin? What do you do for that?
I'll slap my thigh,
So it's just go ahead. Let's hear it.
I mean, I don't have my naked thigh right here. But,
so you would do a naked thigh.
Yep, or you can do your wrist or hand.
Look at that. See, we've got a Foley artist over there too. The set's falling down around us, but that's just one of our many Foley artists that make a sound for us while we're doing a sketch like this. So like a face slap, you'd slap your arm. I'm going to try it.
Yep.
I'm going to slap my, so I just want to just go.
Yep. That's it.
That sounds like a face slap.
That's the
one. Not that I've ever, slapped anybody in the face or anything. I would never do that.
You want it to sound extra meaty, you would slap your chest because you have that chest cavity. It creates a lot of extra bass.
So I'm going to do it. I'll slap my chest right now. Ready? Here we go. Wow.
So that's the big one.
So that's what, when you're hitting somebody in the face really hard?
Or if a big dude's hitting somebody.
Hold on, I'm going to pass out. I hit my heart too hard. I'm sorry, folks. So you would do that? You would slap your chest to do like more meaty? Like it?
Yeah, if you want it to sound like it really hurt or there's a big dude and you're trying
to... Because that really hurt. That did hurt. I'm like dizzy now. I almost knocked myself. I jump-started myself, though. Look at that. I'm back. Yeah.
It's for the sound, though. Worth it.
So I am currently watching, is it Masters of the Air? Masters of the Air. Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks are the executive producers of that show. Do you ever get to see those guys while you're working?
No,
you're kind of they're kind of
they're kind of off. Producing, know how it is,
right? Because they have a bunch of different directors, I think, directing these episodes, right? So it wouldn't be Spielberg directing.
They're on a lot of different locations and sets,
right. I'm fascinated with that show because I love airplanes, being a pilot. So anything with airplanes in it, I just love. So I saw that show, and then I knew you were coming on, and I was like, okay, I got to get my questions together for Dylan. And then I saw, you worked on like one of my favorite shows right now. So what do you have to do for like Masters of the Air? Is it like, what kind of sounds did you have to do?
From the shells ejecting out of their machine guns and hitting different parts of the plane.
How do you do that? How do you do a shell sound? What do you use?
Had a bag of 50 cal shells. And
really? So you gotta, and then what do you do? You drop them, or do you?
Yeah, we're dropping them. This is something we call wild tracks. So it's something that's hard to do to picture, and there's single note sounds that they can later cut in.
Right.
So we would record probably 2 minutes of different wild shells hitting different metal and.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So go back and cut it into all those shots.
So you're not hearing any of those real shells. That's interesting. Yeah. That's pretty cool. What else? I'm very excited. I'm very interested in this. What else? So what other sounds do you have to do in that show?
All the moving and walking around through the planes. We had different types of really thin metal. It was really important that the planes sounded very flimsy. That was a big thing about that time, is that like we're in a tin can basically.
Right.
Like anything hits it, there's just a hole in the plane.
So like when the bullet hits the fuselage, how do you make that sound?
Usually we just do rubber mallets, or I'd even use my hand and just hit different pieces of metal.
Wow.
Also pieces of metal that are a little more tonal, and hit them because I know the flak is coming into the cockpits and bouncing around. And
that is, can we try some stuff maybe with just, because it sounds so basic, like you're just using basic stuff. Like, how about this? Can you do something with the water bottle? That would be like, what would you do with that? Okay, we got a plastic water bottle.
So you could use this as like a bone break, basically.
Oh,
you want to put your hands on your head like you're gonna break your own head or something.
Okay, let's hear a bone break.
But if you're like, oh, that hurt.
I'm gonna remember that trick. What else can we do? We got anything else there? I think we gave you some simple stuff.
Yeah,
just to make sounds. Okay, now you're grabbing a coffee mug and a glass.
Yeah, like in Masters of the Air, they're always going to the bars and stuff.
Right.
So like even the simple things, like their bars sounds completely muted. So we're doing all the clinks, we're doing the sips, like
let's hear a sip. Let's hear a sip. Okay, he's holding a coffee mug.
So when you pick something up, you gotta tap it with your fingers like this.
You tapped it? Okay.
Yeah, so you get the sound of the glass. It's not like a normal.
Okay.
So you do
coffee mug.
Grab,
here we go.
pick up,
and then.
No.
Ooh.
Then,
so even the sips.
A little set down.
Setting it down on a little metal table. So you guys you got to come up. You got to go through the entire movie.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot. So how many times, like in Masters of the Air, my new favorite show, how many different Foley effects are in, 45-minute episodes, 50?
Yeah, 45 to an hour, I'd say.
45 to an hour. How many Foley effects would you say Dylan Tuomy-Wilhoit are in that?
500 to 600.
Individual
sounds. Some of them may run a minute long if they're background tracks. And
wow.
Yeah, some shorter.
That's fascinating.
Got a whole cloth track through the whole episode. So
what's that? It's a
cloth track.
A cloth track. What is that?
It's this weird thing where if you're watching a movie and there's no cloth track, something seems off.
Right.
But your ear trains yourself to not hear all of your cloth movements through life. But if you don't hear it, you hear the lack of it. So we literally just move cloth. Whatever main character's on screen talking. Yeah, and
you're wearing some cloth. All right, get close to that microphone. Let's hear some cloth.
A little,
ready? Here. Wow, that's right. Your brain would never pick that up. You would never know that. See, I've been in this business a long time, and I have learned something today. Unbelievable. Well, let's learn a little bit more. Are you ready to play a game with me?
Let's play.
In this episode of Full House, John Stamos went on kind of an awkward first date, okay? On that note, we're going to play a little game, and this is called Who is John Dating Now? Okay, here we go. Of course, John Stamos, your TV dad, was a ladies' man on the show, but he was no slouch in real life, I know from personal experience. So we have the list of women that he's dated here. This part of it, this is part of the list. It keeps going. I mean, it just goes over. Wait, I think in here we got more. I'm pulling out even more papers, but this is the list of some of the gals John's dated.
We'll get through it all today.
So so we're gonna just dive right into that. All right, I'm gonna give you the names of 3 women, and if you can tell me which one John was dating when this episode aired, you're going to win a prize. But there's no pressure because I'll bet you're going to win a prize anyway, okay?
All right.
All right. Who is John dating now? On January 15th, 1988, 2 years before you were born,
All right.
John Stamos was dating Queen Elizabeth II, Betty White, or Denise Richards? Is it A, Queen Elizabeth, B, Betty White, or C, Denise Richards?
I'll take a C, Denise Richards.
C, ding, 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 Denise
Betty White would
Richards.
be awesome.
Oh, well, you know what? While John probably does watch The Crown and reruns of The Golden Girls, they technically never dated. Okay, so you are correct, Dylan. Crying out loud. I hope that you like T-shirts and funny hats, because we have a cut it out T-shirt and a hat right here for you. Here's a nice little card from me. You can read that in your Ferrari on the way home.
Oh, yep.
That's right. And we get to do one more thing with you before we say goodbye.
Awesome.
Dylan, don't get too wrapped up in your cool presents, because we're going to do one more thing. It's our cut it out moment.
Cut it out.
Every episode of Full House, of course, had that heartfelt scene, and we've cut out a little scene from episode 14, and you and I are going to read that together. In this scene, Dylan, you and I'm going to play the role of Jesse, and you'll be playing Robin.
All right.
Okay? All right. Here we
Let's
go.
do it.
Ready? And the beautiful Full House music is going to play in the background here. It's going to be very... I could get emotional. All right.
Settings, backyard porch.
Yes, here we go. And Robin
All right.
says,
I was wrong about you. You're different than all the other yous I've dated before. But do you know what I like the most?
let's see. How about my love for adventure, the way I live my life on the edge?
Your strong maternal instincts.
The words I've been dying to hear from a woman. Oh, boy. How did this happen? I never even used to like kids until I talked to them.
Well, you've got a terrific family here, and those girls really adore you, and I'm beginning to see why.
Listen, Robin, I'm not the type of guy that just rushes into relationships, okay? I think you and I should become friends.
I like that.
Good. So we'll just be friends?
You got it, buddy.
All right, pal. But listen, if you want to go beyond this friendship thing, you're going to have to make the first move, okay? Because it's not going to be me.
I understand that. Let's get back to the party. Come on.
Robin, I'm curious, if you did happen to make that first move, would it be me? I mean, I would hate to miss it.
Trust me. If I made a move, you'd know it. Okay, pal?
Okay, little buddy. And they hug. Was that a move?
Did your toes curl?
Yeah, does that mean you're making a move?
No. When I make a move, everything curls.
Have mercy. And the scene ends. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Dylan Tuomy-Wilhoit. Thank you, Dylan. Look at that. A crowd of 1,000 is applauding. Here are some of my observations about episode 14. Man, how things have changed. If you'll notice in the opening credits in these early episodes of Full House, we have 3 producers along with a created by credit for Jeff Franklin, and then at the very end, credits for executive producers Tom Miller and Bob Boyette. Now, go and take a look at one of your favorite shows being produced today. You'll probably see a ton of executive producer credits, followed by co-executive producer credits, followed by producer credits. I guess even when it comes to television, every kid does get a trophy. Early in this episode, Jesse says that his last name is Cochran, not Katsopoulos, which is still so strange to hear. Danny brings Michelle to his TV show. Can't say I've ever seen a baby on a sports broadcast before, have you? Joey is wearing 2 watches in this episode. Now, these were made by a company called Swatch, and they were very, very trendy in the late 80s. Now, the 2 watch thing was something that I thought was different and interesting for my character. I'm not sure anyone ever noticed. Christian Alfonso plays the character of Robin in this episode. Christian has been a regular star on the TV soap Days of Our Lives for over 4,300 episodes. Man, and I thought we did a lot of Full House episodes at 192. She won a couple of Soap Opera Digest awards, and she's also a Daytime Emmy Award winner. Man, what a career. After thinking about Christian's career and how lucky I feel to have my career, realizing just how rare it is, I just want to take a moment and be thankful. My life could have gone a lot of different ways, but I feel like I won the lottery with the way it ended up. So I want to thank everyone who helped me get where I am, who supported me and was in my corner. Friends and family, and especially you, the fans. So thank you for all of these years of support. We'd like to hear your thoughts about Full House. Tell us about your favorite episode or just why you love the show so much. Or maybe you got a question for me. Send us an email with the link at socials@podco.us. We close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you who need it a hug. This week, our hug goes out to everyone who has supported Full House and Fuller House over the past 30 years. I've heard from so many people how our family is part of you and your family. And I just want all of you to know that I wouldn't be here without you. So here's your Full House hug from me. Come on, bring it in, everybody. There you go. All right, that's our show. We'd like to thank our special guest, Dylan Tuomy-Wilhoit, for stopping by, and join us next time here on Full House Rewind. And you can watch all of our episodes on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel. Thank you. So long, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Full House Rewind. We'll see you next week.